Hi there. This is a short story about the VBU Music Registry and the components that integrates. So let's start with the basic things. What's the VBU Music Registry? Actually is a initiative for collecting data about the music releases and music artists, contributors, everything which is related to the music. The VBU Music Registry team believes that data is king and that it can be done many things with the collected data about the entities in the music industry. So what are the core entities for which we are collecting some data? Those are the music releases, artists, musicians, and publisher labels. So those are the entities for which we are collecting data. And on top of that, we're creating some specific content and unique content, and that's related to various articles, meaning that we are writing various articles, including interviews, news, columns, reviews about the music releases, and other type of articles. We're creating some short articles, informative articles about the events which are related to the music, not necessarily gigs, concerts, festivals, but also that can be promotion of single, promotion of a new book which is related to the music and the similar stuff. We're attending to many music events, and we're making photos and videos for those events, and we have a photo galleries in our system as well. And we're archiving articles that has been written back in the days and published in a different and the various and the third-party magazines and newspapers. And we're making a digitalization of those articles, which again are tightly related to music. We are doing the OCR, meaning that we're transforming actually the bitmap, the image, into the text, so we can have the content of the article in a text format, so it will be much easier to be indexed and to be searchable. And we're collecting those as a part of the unique content that we are creating for the system, and those are the data and the information that we are collecting and creating. So what additional do we have as a component for our system through which a user can view and browse and search the content that we are creating and collecting? And that's a portal, and the portal is visible through musicregister.com. That's the URL, and people can view part of the information well structured and organized in that web page. Additional technical component that we integrate into the system is related to API, application programming interface, meaning that this interface is suitable for other electronic systems and other portals, and they can use data collected by the VBU Music Registry in a different form, in a JSON format, so they can publish and they can expose the data in their websites or on their end. Additional component, it's what we call a single page website for the artist, or artist website or web page, and it has a separate subdomain under the musicregister.com, and it's artistname.musicregister.com. So the main idea here is we just expose the information and the data that we are collecting for particular artists. And we create, in a way, a single page, modern, responsive design website for the artists. Actually, this component is tightly related to the business model that we recently articulated and that we plan to offer as a service for the artists. Additional component are the statistical indicators and reports that we are creating periodically. For the past 2 years, until the December 2022, we created the statistical reports every single month. So we were giving information about what music releases has been released during the month, what was the demography in the context of music genre, and the type of the releases, singles, EPs, albums, music compilations, and stuff like that. And by the way, we are sharing some summarized information for every year annually with the statistical institution for the North Macedonia. Because they are not collecting any data and they are not processing any data about the Macedonian music production. As addition, we were doing some audio streaming. We had in a way, internet radio, which was dedicated to hip hop music. So it was possible to access the web address hiphop.muzicki.registar.com, and you would be able actually to see one player which was adapted for the mobile and for the desktop version as well. And you can just play the audio stream that was playing the music that was prepared by us, and that was a kind of a project that took us at about 2 years to establish and to keep going on with it. And after some time, after 2 years actually approximately, we shut it down, that one, because we did not have the resources to run actually that additional service. But we made in a way a proof of concept that works, that we were able actually to establish the whole technical things and technical aspect of this service, and it will be relatively easy to run this service again if it's needed, or if we decide that we want to go in that direction. What was the interesting with the hip hop radio is that the player actually was reading information from the VBU Music Registry, and it was used the metadata for the songs that were playing in the player, and it was possible actually to read some information about the music that was playing in the same time, and also the player was showing what's the next song, and again the user would be able to see the next song, and there was a link in which by which he can see, or she can see additional information about the song that should play. So there was a kind of integration between the internet radio and the VBU Music Registry database. So the audio stream was reading metadata from the VBU Music Registry. The next big component is audio recordings, or it's related to actually to music streaming services or music download services. The VBU Music Registry actually keeps references or keeps links to the most popular and the most famous audio music streaming services such as Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Bandcamp, YouTube. And VBU Music Registry doesn't keep audio recordings or music itself, but it keeps the only information and the data and the metadata, but also keeps URLs or links to popular services, so that whoever visit, for instance, our portal vbumusicregistry.com will be able actually to listen to music because of keeping those links in our service. So when it comes to the distribution of the information that we are collecting and that we are creating, we mainly use social networks. and we have a couple of profiles on popular social networks through which we are distributing the information about the music releases or other content that we are creating for the musicians and for the releases. So we have a YouTube channel in which we're keeping some video content, amateur video content that we are creating on the gigs and music events that we attend. So we are creating some specific and unique content, and we keep that one on our YouTube channel. But also we have profiles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we're posting from time to time posts there about the new music releases or some articles that we're creating. We keep a Facebook profile the most recently updated. Then we have Instagram, and not so frequently we are using a Twitter. Facebook currently, Facebook page for VBU Music Registry have at about 5,000 followers. And we were doing a monthly newsletter, and for almost 2 years we ended up on December 2022 because of the lack of resources, so we can continue doing so. But it was a very interesting initiative or project, I would say, under the VBU Music Registry initiative. We managed to collect more than 500 email addresses, which were mainly from third-party media portals, televisions, journalists, independent journalists who are writing for different media, music professionals, music enthusiasts. So in general, the professionals who are interested into the music. And we were sending them monthly newsletter with a brief information about the articles that we created during that month, and selection of the latest music releases that were released that month. We had a list of events from our calendar, upcoming events for the next month, and some additional information that we create or collect during the past months. But as I mentioned, we ended up with a monthly newsletter project, December 2022. We definitely consider this interface for communication with the professionals very useful, and most probably we will get back to that interface very soon with a reformatted or with a revised format of sending information to the professionals about the music releases and everything which is related to the music industry, according to our opinion, of course, according to the editorial policy and politics that we have. And I would like to mention the public sector. I already mentioned once, and I want to say that Ministry of Culture of North Macedonia support these projects for the past 3 years, so we are receiving some financial support from them. It's not a big, of course, so we can make a business model, but that's not the point. Anyways, any support it's welcome, and we know that representatives of Ministry of Culture using our service actually to cross-check or to double-check some information that they need related to the music culture and the music industry. And the second institution is a state statistical office. I already mentioned that we are sending some information to them on an annual level, because they are not doing any researches about Macedonian music production. So they were asking us to provide them some summary information on an annual level, such as how many releases, what the demography of the music genre from those releases, how many artists, how many music authors were participating in creating those music releases on an annual level and stuff like that. And of course, we are providing those information for the state statistical office, and they're publishing those information along with other interesting statistical indicators from other industries and domains into one publication, which they're doing every year annually. And I would like to mention that VBU Music Registry is only additional resource that is mentioned in this publication used by state statistical office. Other information that they're collecting is the source of information actually is the statistical office itself. And yeah, that's the overview about what are the elements or what are the components that are part of the VBU Music Registry, or at least what are the components that at some point in the past were part of the VBU Music Registry. So the summary will be like we collect and we create some data about the artists, about the musicians, about the releases, about the publishers, of course, the entities for which we can collect the data can grow, and we do plan that one. And as addition to those core information or core data that we are collecting, we are creating some articles, we are digitalizing some old written articles, we are creating and building a calendar for music events, and we are creating some photo stories from the music events that we are attend to. So that's what we call VBU Music Registry. And on top of those information and on top of those data, we are trying to build a set of services. Some of those can be free, or some of those are already free. Some of those we do plan to create it as a separate commercial services, and those of course not necessarily should be part of the VBU Music Registry. Can be a third party, can be done by somebody else. And I would like to pinpoint out to a few different services that the VBU Music Registry team was think of, so you can get an idea in which direction we think for the further development of various services on top of the VBU Music Registry. So artist website, so that's the one for which we articulated the business model, and we would like to offer to the music artists. The second one is raw data, kind of a spreadsheet. So until now, few entities were interested into the data that we collect, especially for the music releases and the artists, and they were asking us to provide them a data for an annual, for a year, or for a long period. And what we can do, we can easily just export that one into a spreadsheet document and share with whoever is interested in to have it. This should be a commercial service, of course. I already mentioned that we have an API, which is again can be a commercial service and can be used by third-party websites, so they can just take some data and publish part of that data according to their editorial politics and policy. Additional service can be statistical reports that we can create on a frequent level or on demand, and we are doing so, and we were doing so at some point. We do plan to create some marketing services for the artists, for the publishers, for the event managers, or whoever is interested into spreading a word about their work, and we can create and publish different type of information to our website, but also we can create a content as well, so we can share that content with other entities, third-party portals, media, and the social networks. And we did that in the past once or twice. And additional service, which is already a commercial service that we announced at some point in May, second part of May, That's extended search, meaning that if you want to search the data kept in our database, you should be able actually to make subscription, and you should be able to sign into our website and use some very simple search features through which you can filter the releases and search by keywords, so you can find some artists, musicians, music releases, publishers, and the data related to those. So those are the 6 ideas of additional services that can be offered on top of the data and information that has been created and visible on our website. But we believe that it can be identified and realized much more than those 6. Actually, we believe that sky is the limit. And yeah, that's more or less about the VBU Music Registry in half an hour, or in an hour. I don't know how much time I needed actually to explain all those things. So thanks a lot.